Hey guys, Water24 here from MondayMorningMTG.com, and today I have the M14 Deck Builders Toolkit, of which I will be going through, looking at everything, and then promptly building a deck from the cards in here. Now, there should be 4 booster packs in here, and 100 basic land. The rest of them should be about 101 commons, I think 10 uncommons. I'm trying to see if that adds up here. Something like that. And from what I have heard online so far, is that it comes with an M13 booster pack, which is weird, an M14 booster pack, that's obviously normal, Return to Ravnica, and Gate Crash. There's no Dragon's Maze, instead there's like an M13 in here. So, and a lot of people have said that, so that is just like a very odd thing to do, given that it won't be standard legal, which I believe is what this is. Well, this is also more for casual as well, but it's mainly to get people into the game. So if you want to get into the game, you don't know anything about Magic that much, and you just want something to get you into it, learn about deck building, learn about all of that, this is what you get. Alright, so we have the nice art and sleeve here. We have a nice, hard, thick cardboard box here. Very nice art on it. Oh, normal Chandra. Fiery Chandra. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open this. Alright, yep, there we have it. The M13, M14, Gate Crash, Return to Ravnica. Now, we also have 4 sealed packs in here, of which we have Basic Land. This should be the 4 deck bases, which are 10 card bases separated by Transguild Promenade, apparently. It was Evolving Wilds in the past 2. Actually, Evolving Wilds in the M13. The M11 was Terramorphic Expanse. I don't know about the M10, but in this, we have 4 Transguild Promenades that are separating the 10 bases. This is going to be white through red. This will be red through green and uncommons. So, yeah, time to get started. Maybe I don't know. This doesn't feel like 100 land. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go for these first, which these are going to be the commons. Stupid plastic. Okay. Oh, before I do that, I probably should say, this is like a how to play guide. So let me just open this one up, because this is the first M14 video. So let's just open this up, and man, I got that one ripped. But it goes through and explains all the stuff, and on the back it explains more. Yeah, that got a little bit ripped in the middle there. And this is about the Deck Builders Toolkit, and how to build your first deck, which, that's cool. But I don't need either of those. They're unimportant. You have like a cardboard separator. I'm going to set those down there. Keep the box though. Okay, so now these are the cards that you are guaranteed to have in this box. I will tell you when you get to the ones that you won't get, or that you won't necessarily get in the box. You may get them, you may not, but we'll get to that. Okay, so there are 2 pacifisms, which, let me actually focus that so you can read them. I got a lot of videos to get through today, so I don't know about reading all of them, but come on, focus. There we go. Alright, so we have 2 pacifisms, a Hive Stirrings from M14, Pacifism is also from M14, Seller of Songbirds from Return to Ravnica, Fortify from M14, Master of Diversion from M14, Assault Griffin from Gate Crash, Dawnstrike Paladin from M14, Avenging Arrow from Return to Ravnica, Capuchin Knight from M14, Sunspire Griffin from Return to Ravnica, Angelic Wall from M14, Griffin Sentinel, M14, Suntail Hawk, M14, Sarah Angel, Oh, they put the uncommons with them this time. Okay, cool. So Sarah Angel, which is M14, and Blessing, which is M14. So you will get those white cards. As far as blue goes, Paralyzing Grasp, Divination, Paralyzing Grasp, RTR, Divination M14, Frost Breath M14, Archaeomancer M14, get 2 of those, Wind Drake from Dragon's Maze, Void Wielder, RTR, Stealer of Secrets, RTR, Messenger Drake, M14, Seacoast Drake, M14, Doorkeeper, Return, Cancel, M14, Disperse, M14, Tome Scour, M14, Uncommons, Opportunity, M14, and Skyline Predator from Return. So you definitely get those blue cards. Moving on to black now. Ring Flesh from M14, Mind Rot, M14, Festering Newt, M14, Stab Wound, Return, Duress, M14, Liturgy of Blood, M14, get 2 of those, Child of Night, M14, Nightwing Shade, M14, Accursed Spirit, M14, Corpse Hauler, M14, Death Gaze Cockatrice, M14, Drainpipe Vermin, Return, Minotaur Abomination, M14, Uncommons Doomblade, M14, and Corrupt, M14. So you will get those black cards. Now, moving on to red, you get Shock, M14, 2 of those. Very good card. Well, Lightning Bolt's better, but it's not standard legal, and those last done in M11. Okay, Act of Treason, M14, Chandra's Outrage, M14, Annihilating Fire, Return, Seismic Stomp, M14, Goblin Short Cutter, M14, Regathan Firecat, M14, Pitchburn Devils, M14, Viashino Racketeer, Return, Blur Sliver, M14, Dragon Hatchling, M14. Okay, we still have more of the red cards, and we also have, I assume, artifacts. I assume we also have some, well, I don't know if there's multicolor in here, but we have the rest of red, we have green, and it looks like basic land in this one. Okay, so Tenement Crasher, Return, Riot Piker, Dragon's Maze, Gutter Snipe is our first uncommon, that's Return, and Flames of the Firebrand is M14. So that finishes out red. Moving on to green. Centaur's Herald from Return, Predatory Sliver from M14, Crawl Warrior from Dragon's Maze, Aerial Predation, Predation from Return, Elvish Mystic from M14, get 2 of those, nice. Deadly Recluse from M14, Brindleboar, M14, Spore Mound, M14, Rumbling Baloth, M14, Giant Growth, M14, Trollhide, M14, Hunt the Weak, M14, Axebane Stag, Return, Uncommons Briarpack Alpha, M14, and Howl of the Night Pack, M14. Then we also have a Sliver Construct artifact. That's the only artifact we get out of those. So that should have been, I believe, 101. Yeah, it's 101. Because booster packs would be 15, 30, 45, 60. Then we have 100 land, so that's 160 already. Then you have 100 commons, 10 uncommons, and one of those. You have 4 of the Transguild Promenades and 40 bases. That should add up to 285 if I did my math right, which I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, you have playsets of the land, well, sort of. But there's 100 land, which means you're going to have 20 of each, which means you have 5 of each art. And there's no sense in me just going through basic land, because it's basic land. You've probably seen it before. If you've played Magic, you've probably seen it before. If you've seen people playing Magic, and you probably know what it is if you're planning to play Magic. And if you don't, this is basic land. Trust me, you will come to like it. The art, some of this art is just phenomenal this time. Like, I love this one. This reminds me of one of the Zendikar lands. I like these two islands there. The swamp, that's a really nice looking one. That one is as well. Mountains, I like this one, and I like this one. And I like that forest and this forest. And I just like some of this art. But see, this is all basic land right here. So you get 20 of each basic land. From this, you should be building a 60-card deck with 2 colors, typically. Because you won't really come off with enough to make anything else. Well, actually, you could do it mono-colored if you have enough of the cards for it, because you have the Transguild Promenades, which we will now promptly open this pack. And look at them. Okay. Let me just get that out of the way. Okay, so there's Transguild Promenade. Now, this is the starting of one of the bases. It should be 10 cards. Voracious Worm, Angelic Accord, Congregate. This is already, I can already tell this is life gain. Unflinching Courage, Centaur Healer, Soulmender, Brindle Boar, Dawnstrike Paladin, Predator's Report, Divine Favor, and that's the end of that base. So, essentially it's a life gain because Voracious Worm enters with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Otherwise, you're just getting a 2/2 for 2. But it's a really good card. I used it in the pre-release. I think I got it to be like a 22/22 creature. 22 toughness, 22 power. So, I managed to do that. But that was, I will admit, I did that with the help of Archangel of Thune. But so you have Voracious Worm, Angelic Accord. If you gain 4 more life at the beginning of each end step, if you have gained 4 more life this turn, you get a 4/4 White Angel creature token with flying on the battlefield. Congregate gives you 2 life for each creature on the battlefield. Unflinching Courage gives +2/+2 in lifelink for a creature. Centaur Healer, when it enters, you get 3 life. It's a 3/3 creature. Soulmender, it's 1/1 creature, you tap it for 1 life. Brindle Boar, you can sack it for 4 life, which technically you're turning a 2/2 creature into a flying 4/4 creature by sacrificing it. So it depends how much mana you have, how much you want to pay. Dawnstrike Paladin has got lifelink. Predator's Report. You choose target creature you control. You gain life equal to the creature's power plus its toughness. Then Divine Favor. When it enters battlefield, you get 3 life, and it pumps your creatures. Okay, so that is the first base, which that would definitely be one I would like to probably do. That will probably be the one I will build the deck with when I show you. But moving on to the next one. Again, another Transguild Promenade. Like I said, you get 4. So we have Syncopate, which you counter target spell unless its controller pays X. And if that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. And it's blue and X for the mana cost. Gutter Snipe. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, deals 2 damage to each opponent. Is it Charm? Counter target non-creature spell unless they pay 2. Is it Charm deals 2 damage to target creature, or draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. Blast of Genius. Choose target creature or player. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. Blast of Genius deals damage equal to the discard card's converted mana cost to that creature or player. Goblin Electromancer. Instant sorceries cost 1 less to cast. Goblin Electromancer, again, you get another one of those. Essence Backlash, counter target spell. It deals damage equal to the spell's power to its controller. Nivix Cyclops. Defender, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +3/+0 until end of turn and can attack this turn as though it didn't have Defender. Explosive Impact deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Chandra's Outrage deals 4 damage to target creature to the creature's controller. So this is going to be blue-red spells or blue-red control and burn, because let's see here, when you cast spells, you can deal damage to them. You can also counter their spells. So this is going to be like blue-red spells, blue-red counters, whatever you want to call that. And that's base number 2. Now those 2 you may or may not get because they probably have like a pool of 11 or 13. I haven't looked it up yet at the time of this video, but they typically have like 11 different bases and you get 4. So you could open like 50 different ones of these and you won't get the same. Chances are. But then again, with the sheer number they make, you will find exact replicas of this particular one. Like, you could open one and get the exact same stuff I did, except for what's in the packs. You got what's in the packs, as well as everything I got in this. Astonishing. Wow, I hope you got that on video. Please show me. Okay, next base. Transguild Promenade. Again. So we have Steel Form Sliver. Oh, this must be a Sliver one. Sliver creatures you control get +0/+1. Battle Sliver. Sliver creatures you control get +2/+0. You get 2 of those. Mana Weft Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Predatory Sliver. Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. You get 2 of those. Sentinel Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have Vigilance. Striking Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have First Strike. Blur Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have Haste. Ground Shaker Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have Trample. Okay, so that is quite obviously white, green, red slivers, which white, green, and red are the only colors of Sliver and M14 that come in common and uncommon varieties. All the other ones, actually, I think white only comes in uncommon. No, okay. These all come in common or uncommon varieties. Blue and black slivers have 1 each, and I believe they're rare. I believe they have 1 each, but I know they're rare. So far we have white, there we go. So far we have white, green life gain, blue, red spells or counter spells, and we have Naya slivers. Naya is white, green, red, for those of you that don't know. We get the name from the Shards of Alara block, which was 4 years ago? 4 years ago, yes. Transguild Promenade, again. Alright. Gnawing Zombie. You can sacrifice it. Target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Or, yeah, that's sacrifice a creature if you pay the mana. Barrage of Expendables. Sacrifice a creature. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Tenacious Dead. When it dies, you may pay a black and 1. If you do, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Goblin Rally, put 4 1/1 red goblin creature tokens on the battlefield. Act of Treason, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Blood Baron, sacrifice another creature, and gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Pitchburn Devils, when it dies, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Festering Newt, when it dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. That creature gets -4/-4. Instead, if you control a creature named Bugbrute Witch. Drainpipe Vermin, when it dies, you may pay 1 black. If you do, target player discards a card. And then Altar's Reap, as an additional cost to cast it, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. So this seems to be a red-black sacrifice to punish deck, sort of. Or it deals with things dying or being sacrificed, and it does damage or helps you in some way. Okay, so of those 4, since there aren't many slivers that came in these cards, actually, I don't think there were any, come to think of it. No, I don't think there were slivers that came in this. Since there were no slivers, I can tell you already, slivers is out. This seems to be like all I have in the way of red-black sacrifice, so that's out. So those two will not be used for building the deck. I mean, you could still do it just fine. It's just not what I'm going to choose. And already I'm thinking we're going to go with white-green or blue-red. I like both combinations. I actually like white-green-black more than white-green, but we have both those we can use. But it's time to open the booster packs now. Alright. Trained Caracol. Survey the Wreckage. Dramatic Rescue. Golgari Longlegs. Destroy the Evidence. Stonefair Crocodile. Gorehouse Chainwalker. Inaction and Injunction. Is it Guildgate? That's something that could go for the blue-red. Keening Apparition. Civic Saber. Lie of Sky Knight. Xanakev Locust. Rare Mythic Rare is a Precinct Captain. It's got first strike, and when it deals combat damage, put a 1/1 white soldier creature token on the battlefield. Okay. And we have a Plains. Now, Precinct Captain adds to the white-green. Trained Caracol with lifelink adds to white-green. Not much else in the way of white-green. That could be used for red. That could be used for blue. Is it Guildgate? Blue-red. Yeah, we have some stuff we could do. Now, with Gatecrash, we can only look for mono-colored cards, mainly because the blue-red and white-green combinations that were multicolored cards are not going to be in here, because the Selesnya and Izzet guilds, respectively, are from Return to Ravnica. Okay, Hands of Binding, Massive Raid, Night Watch, Contaminated Ground, Sky Knight Legionnaire, Shielded Passage, Riot Gear, Forced Adaptation, Keymaster Rogue, Call of the Nightwing, Mark for Death, Truefire Paladin. Rare Mythic is a rare stolen identity. Put a token onto the battlefield that is a copy of target artifact or creature. And you have Cipher, which is a mechanic that allows you to exile this spell encoded on a creature you control. So it's sort of an enchantment that can't be destroyed. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, its controller may cast a copy of the encoded card without paying its mana cost. And we have a foil Coerced Confession. Target player puts the top 4 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. You draw a card for each creature card put into the graveyard this way. That could go in blue-red. It may say blue-black, but you can pay 4 in a blue or 4 in a black for this. We have an island and a night token. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, M13. Here we go. Wish it could actually open. Well, okay. Alright. Titanic Growth. This is going to add to my white-green for sure. Chandra's Fury. Mind Rot. Deadly Recluse. Sign in Blood. Yiva's Force Mage. Spiked Baloth. Wall of Fire. Divination. War Falcon. War Priest of Thune. Gem of Becoming. Prized Elephant. Nicol Bolas. Nicol Bolas Planeswalker, specifically. Mythic Rare. It's Planeswalker. Okay. Those of you that are regulars, you may be wondering why I'm not as thrilled about it. I mean, okay, he's about, what, $4 or $5? I have a foil one. I have a foil one from the dual deck. I have 2 more of these. I don't know. I mean, maybe something could come of the red, blue, black one. And we have Gem of Becoming from this too, so that's perfect. That's entirely possible. So he's at he has 5 loyalty, +3 destroy target non-creature permanent, -2 gain control of target creature, -9 he deals 7 damage to target player. That player discards 7 cards and sacrifices 7 permanents. Okay, let me explain how Planeswalkers work, because this video is a little bit more for newer people that are just wanting to get into the game. So he starts out at 5, and you can use one of these. Well, actually, okay, to use any of these, you have to be able to add to it or subtract enough where where he either goes to 0 or stays above 0. He can't have a negative number, or this can't become negative in any way. And you typically track this by putting some dice on him, or like pennies or something. So he's at 5. You can always add something unless he's at 0, because then he's not on the battlefield. So with 5, you can add 3 to destroy target non-creature permanent, which that means you can destroy a land. You can destroy an enchantment. You can destroy an artifact. There's some things you can't destroy, like emblems from Planeswalkers, and you can't destroy anything ciphered, because that's already been exiled, and it's just encoded on it. So you can add, and you can subtract 2 to gain control of target creature. And it doesn't say it returns at the end of your turn. You gain control of it. Until the end of the game, that is your creature, until it dies or your opponent somehow gets it back. So you can either do +3 or -2, but you can only have 1 action per turn. Next turn, then you can do +3 again. Only once he is at 9 or above can you actually use -9. And that will be a very hard thing to do. First of all, it's going to take about 8 turns to get him out. Then, because you have to pay 4 colorless mana, a blue, 2 black, and a red. Then you also have to pump him up twice just to get him to above 9. Because first time would be 8, next time would be 11, and then you can use -9. Then you can do -2 again, or you can do a -2 sometime during that and get rid of him with a -9 after you destroy all that stuff. So, but most people will keep you from getting to -9, or using that ultimate ability, as it's called. And in addition to that, Planeswalkers can be targeted. Like when you attack, you can choose to send all the damage to an opponent's Planeswalker if they don't block, or if they block and some creatures still get, and some of your creatures still get through. You can put the damage here instead of to your opponent. You can target this with like Shock or any of the burn spells. So, I mean, Planeswalkers are like a good diversion, but they can also help you. They're like another player, but they're not, which is kind of weird. Anyway, end of the tutorial on Planeswalkers. Then we have a worm token and an island. Did I just go into like a 8-minute rant on Planeswalkers and how to use them? Anyway. Oh. Okay. M14 pack, which is the last pack. These are all the cards. And then I'll go over tips on how to start building the deck, and then I'll probably turn the camera off and build a deck and whatnot, because I don't want to keep running and you having to suffer through watching this. Anyway. Sentinel Sliver. Shadowborn Apostle, Marauding Maulhorn, Trollhide, Show of Valor, Demolish, Giant Spider, Armored Cancrix, Minotaur Abomination, Griffin Sentinel, Uncommon, Shimmering Grotto, yay, Steel Form Sliver, Elixir of Immortality, yay. Rare Mythic is a rare Gale Rider Sliver. 1 blue for a 1/1, and Sliver creatures you control have flying. Not bad. And you have a Swamp and a non-token. Okay, so that's what we have. I'm actually probably going to go with white-green. You can build 2 decks out of this one box, I will tell you that much. Because my college roommate and I, well, he got a box and I helped him build a deck, and then he built one on his own. and this was a few months ago. But you can build 2 decks out of this. You might want to buy a couple more booster packs as well, just to like buffer stuff, have some extra good, cool things you can throw in, you know, this and that. So, with all of this, the best thing to do, which this is why I like this playmat. Unfortunately, they don't actually make or sell these anymore. You could probably find one on eBay. Just search for like Ultra Pro Mana playmat on eBay. You may find 1 or 2. They're going to be between like $20, $25. They don't make these anymore, but one of the reasons I got it, it's great to take this to a tournament that's like sealed, or you're opening stuff and you want to organize stuff, because you have the white, you have the blue, you have the black, you have the red, and you have the green over here. So you have all of those, plus you have life on the bottom. But what you want to do with all of your cards now that you have them, except for like the 4 bases of decks, you want to take all your cards and separate them white, blue, black, red, green. And then if you have artifacts, put them in a separate pile. If you have multicolor cards, put them in a separate pile. Hybrid cards, put them in a separate pile. And then you can look at what you have the most of. Like, how much white do you have? How much green do you have? How much blue do you have? And then look at the bases. Compare the cards you have in each of the color piles to the bases that have those colors. And from that, decide if you have cards in those colors that would complement the base, and then can choose which base you want to use, because these are already 10 card bases, and you want at least 20, 24 land. I go with 22, but I've been playing for a long time. When you're starting out, you want about 24 land. So you're going to be doing that. You're going to want to sort things. You're going to want to find things that will go with it. Like, you may have heard me going through, looking at these. Like, for the white-green base, I was like, oh, Train Caracol, it's got lifelink, and I can play it on the first turn. What else was in here? I don't think there was anything else in there. Oh, Precinct Captain. He's white, and he gives you tokens and stuff. He's got First Strike, which wouldn't be too bad. Titanic Growth, +4/+4. I'd want to put that in that. I would want to put that in a white-green, +2/+2. That's also goes with green. Spike's Baloth also goes with green. War Falcon, probably not. War Priest of Thune, maybe. Prized Elephant, it's white and it requires green. And gets +1/+1 when you control a forest, which fits with the white-green thing. Nico Bolas isn't going to go in white-green, obviously. So, just look through these, go, that would go well with that, because white-green life gain, you're going to want things that will give you life gain, like pumping your life-link creatures to let them attack for more, which would give you more life in turn. So, there are several things you want to do when you're building this, and you can find deck tutorials all over YouTube. I do a few. I'm going to build a deck out of these cards. It's going to be tacked on like in another minute or so. And then just build based off what you see here, what the how to build a deck explains, and also first step, of course, is organize, see what you have before you start building. And then like split up the color organizations into, would this fit with life gain, would this fit with blue-red counter spells, etc. and so forth. So you want to go through like that. So I'm going to go ahead, stop the video now, build the deck, and come back. So it'll all be one long video to you, but to me, I'm stopping and restarting. Alright, so I'm back now, and I have built a deck. I didn't add the basic land to it, but I have the number in my head. They're going to need to be 11 plains and 9 forests. I haven't actually tested and played the deck, but judging by the number, because you want to go by the symbols of the casting cost. And there are more white than green, plus we have the 2 Elvish Mystics that we want to be able to put out to get mana. So, and we also have these 2 lands that we're going to do. So we have 38 cards in the deck, plus 22 land, 20 basic land, and 2 of the non-basic land here, being the Transguild Promenade and Shimmering Grotto, because Shimmering Grotto you can either make colorless or pay a colorless mana and tap to make any color. So you could pay green to make white, or you pay white to make green, so on and so forth. Transguild Promenade, you play it on your second turn, you pay the 1 mana so you have it to make any color. But this comes in tapped, so... I mean, there are trade-offs there, but that should round out the mana. 11 plains, 9 forests. So, let me start with the creatures I chose. And I took everything from the base, I kept all of that intact, and just went through the rest of the stuff I got, and came up with this. So we have the 2 Elvish Mystics. Soulmender, because we need it to gain life. Suntail Hawk, because it's flying, and flying is good, because you can stop... because sometimes your opponents can't stop flying. Trained Caracal, because it has lifelink. Blessing, because you can pump your creatures, hopefully your flying ones. And then Precinct Captain, because every time it deals combat damage to a player, you can put a 1/1 white soldier creature token on the battlefield. That's kind of important because you may want more and more creatures out there. Angelic Wall to block stuff that's flying or on the ground. Capuchin Knight, because again, it has first strike and you can also pump it. It's not the best thing for pumping, but it's good enough. Deadly Recluse, because it has Death Touch and Reach, and having Death Touch means that no matter how much combat damage you deal to it, you can stop it, and this can block anything with flying or that's on the ground, so this makes it perfect to get rid of one of those giant creatures your opponent has. Crawl Warrior, yes, it's 2 mana, yes, it's a 2/2, but you can pay 6 mana, 5 and a green, to give it +3/+3 until end of turn. It's a bit of a waste, but late game, that wouldn't be too bad, especially if you have all that mana that you're not going to be doing anything with. So, you have that. Voracious Worm, again, because this was in the main part of the deck, but also because of the life gain. War Priest of Thune, because sometimes you might want to destroy an enchantment when something enters the battlefield, so gotta be able to do that. Centaur Healer, because you gain 3 life when it enters the battlefield, and it's a 3/3 for 3. So, not bad at all there. Sunspire Griffin, again, for the flying. Brindle Boar, sacrifice for 4 life, or it's a 2/2. Got another one. Master of Diversion, because you can keep the defending player, whenever you attack, from blocking with a particular creature, because you can tap it using this ability of when it attacks, so that's good. Eva's Force Mage, it's 2/2 for 3, but it gives +2/+2 to a creature when it enters, so you probably would give that to something that's flying. With white-green, the life gain is a good thing. Secondary, you want stuff that flies. At least out of this, that was the secondary, because you want to have a couple goals. First goal is the life gain, so you're going to be gaining life, so you're going to be putting angels out, you're going to be pumping up the ability to make play Voracious Worm at some really absurd amount of life you created, or gave it, or life you gained, so you can pump it when you play it. So, that was the main thing about that. But secondary here, we want flying. So, that's why I have a lot of the flyers in there. Briar Pack Alpha, it has Flash, and it's 3/3 for 4. You can play it at any time on an opponent's turn or your turn, and it gives target creature +2/+2 when it enters the battlefield, so that's also good. Prized Elephant is a 3/3 for 4. It can gain trample turn if you pay green, and also if you control forest, you get +1/+1, so that's good as well. Spiked Baloth, 4/2 trample, and then 2 Dawnstrike Paladins, which are 2/4 with vigilance and lifelink. Maybe 5 mana to cast, but you can hopefully gain life with them, or you can gain life off them, and hopefully they don't die too fast. Alright, now for spells, we have Elixir of Immortality, because you can pay 2, sacrifice it, gain 5 life, and then shuffle this back into your graveyard, and the graveyard into your library, and just shuffle all of that, and everything's back to you having a full deck except what's on the table and in your hand. So that's important. Also, it could give you an angel at the end of your turn. Forced Adaptation, because a creature can get +1/+1 at the beginning of each of your upkeeps, which isn't bad. Giant Growth instantaneously gives a creature +3/+3 until end of turn. Divine Favor, of course, you gain the 3 life and also the +1/+3. Show of Valor +2/+4. The pump spells are going to help with things that are flying or things that can't be blocked, or things that trample through. That works as well. Titanic Growth, again for the same reason as Giant Growth and Show of Valor, +4/+4. Unflinching Courage, 3 mana to give a creature permanently +2/+2 trample and lifelink. Not bad either. Aerial Predation, you can destroy a creature with flying and you gain 2 life because of it. It helps stop your opponents that have flying stuff, but also gives you life. Predator's Report, of course you choose target creature you control, you gain life equal to the creature's power plus its toughness. Troll Hide, I put 2 of these in here because a creature has +2/+2, but also if it could take lethal damage by blocking or by attacking and almost being killed, you can pay green and a colorless for it just to be fine. So that's good. We have 2 of those. And we have Angelic Accord because, again, at the beginning of each of your end steps, of each end step, not just yours, but at the beginning of each end step, if you gained 4 or more life this turn, you put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying on the battlefield. That's good. And then Congregate, of course, you can gain 2 life for each creature on the battlefield. And with that, that is the deck, plus 11 planes, plus 9 forests, plus these 2 land, makes a 60-card deck. So it can be done. All these cards came from what was in that, plus the booster packs that were in there, and it's really relatively simple. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy.